everyone. Thank you for joining us from all over the world today. My name is Frederick Behrens. I'm an investment advisor at Tune Financial. And today, as you all know, we're going to be talking about saving for college as an American living abroad. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking for about 20 minutes today. And as a little brief overview, I'll talk a little bit more about Tune Financial Advisors. Then I will kind of address saving for college very broadly. And then start narrowing down to some more specific topics such as 529 college savings plans and the unique circumstances faced by Americans living abroad. And lastly, I'll conclude about how we incorporate college savings into integrated financial planning and investment management services at Tune Financial. So a little more about Tune Financial. We're an investment management and financial planning firm. We have a comprehensive approach to building long-term wealth designed for expatriate needs. That being said, we work mainly with American expatriates all around the world. Our client base is global. 90% are living outside the United States. And most importantly, we are a fee-only registered investment advisor. That means we are a fiduciary to our clients. Our only compensation is from our clients. We do not accept any commissions from brokers, other funds, or insurance products. This allows us to be unencumbered by other interests and perform the best service to our clients. Our mission is to help expatriates leverage their high-earning years abroad into a prosperous financial future. And we realize that high-income expats are focused on their jobs, businesses, and families. And we also realize at the same time that access to investment and financial planning resources is limited. And this could be especially true when living abroad when there could be unfamiliar language or unfamiliar country rules. And that being said, we always realize that investment environment and tax laws are constantly changing, and we help to fill that gap. Tune Financial will fill the gap with expert investment management and financial planning services designed for expatriate needs. And one part of these services we provide will be college savings. As you can see, the rising cost of college. How much will a future college education cost? And this chart from the College Board shows that the price of an average college at a private or public institution increases about 5% a year. And you can see on the left, if you were to send a child to college maybe this year or next year, it might cost about $20,000 for a 4-year education at a private school. And 18 years down the road, that cost is expected to increase at a bit more than inflation, about 5% a year, to almost $450,000 for a 4-year education at a college school. So we know this is one of the bigger questions on everyone's mind. But as an American living abroad, there's also some more questions you might ask. For example, will my children go to a U.S. or foreign university? Am I eligible for U.S.-based college savings plans? Should I use foreign college savings options? How do I incorporate college savings into a larger investment portfolio, and what are the tax implications? At Tune Financial, we're able to look at these big picture items and really help advise our clients on this on a daily basis. Now, moving a little bit more specifically, we're going to talk about 529 college savings plans. 529s are the most popular college savings plans in the United States. Contributions to a 529 plan are not tax deductible at the federal level. However, the real advantage is that earnings accumulate tax-free. This is really where the power of using a 529 plan comes in. Anyone is able to contribute to a 529 plan. There's a couple of rules to be mindful of, though, and they mainly deal with the annual gift tax exclusion amount. You'll be able to contribute up to $14,000 a year. A couple will be able to contribute $28,000 jointly to a 529 plan without affecting their lifetime gift tax exclusion. However, importantly, there is 529 plans allow for an accelerated contribution rule. And it's possible to fund a 529 plan very quickly with an accelerated contribution of $70,000 or $140,000 for a couple. And this would allow you to not run afoul of any gift tax exclusion or your lifetime exemption, but get money quickly into the 529 plan and start seeing the tax-free growth quickly. And you'd be able to do a $70,000 contribution every 5 years in lieu of a $14,000 contribution every year. And then when a child goes to college, the distributions will be tax-free when used to pay for qualified tuition expenses. And these are very broad, and they include, for example, full tuition and mandatory fees, room and board, textbook supplies, and the computer. So very broadly normal college expenses. And then one of the questions we get a lot then is, what if I do not know where my children will go to school? And this could be particularly true when living abroad in a foreign country, maybe uncertain plans in the future. However, the 529 plan chosen does not affect which school the student will enroll in the future. For an example, an investor can live in London, invest in a plan from Utah, and send a student to a college in Boston or Paris. The schools available in the U.S. are very broad. There would be any accredited university in the United States. And for example, this can include technical schools, 2-year colleges, 4-year colleges, grad school, law school, medical school, almost any kind of education program that you would typically see in the U.S. In addition, 529 plans are pretty flexible. And for the 2012-2013 school year, there were over 451 international schools that were eligible to receive 529 funds. There's a complete list I could send out later. It's also available on the Department of Education website. And that being said, it's really important for an American abroad to pick the best 529 plan because not all 529 college saving plans are created equal. And one particular circumstances for Americans abroad is that many are not subject to state taxation, and this would, of course, depend on your working arrangement and how long you've been abroad. But not being subject to state taxation allows an expat to kind of choose more freely among 529 plans because there's no state tax incentive. The main state tax incentive would be a deduction on state taxes, but when you're not resident of any state and not paying state taxes, this incentive is not really necessary. This allows someone to pick from the best 529 plans, and at TUN we really look at 2 criteria, a wide variety of investment options and low fund expenses. We have research that shows that Utah, New Mexico, Nevada, and Ohio typically have the best 529 plans according to these criteria. And therefore, we really recommend that you use a plan from one of these states. In addition, though, we also realize that 529 plan is not always the best option for an American expat. There's some other options available that you can use. For example, we have Coverdell Education Savings Accounts, or ESAs. These are like an IRA, and they are self-directed with a yearly contribution limit of $2,000. However, there's an income phase-out beginning at $95,000. This might make them, along with the low yearly contribution limit, not the most ideal plan to use. It's also possible to fund a college education from a retirement account. You can withdraw money from an IRA or Roth IRA without a 10% penalty, however, subject to the normal tax rules to pay for qualified tuition expenses. In this situation, we typically recommend that investors really focus on funding their retirement accounts first and then 529 plans. And this option might make a lot of sense for someone who isn't able to fund them both as much as they'd like, but prefer to fund the retirement account first. Lastly, taxable brokerage accounts might be the best option for some American expats. You'd be able to take advantage of their kind of tax characteristics by purchasing low-cost, efficient ETFs and holding them for 10, 20, 30 years and take advantage of the long-term capital gains rate when you pay for college expenses farther into the future. Now we have a few special considerations for American expats. It's always essential to consider cross-border tax implications when investing abroad. And this is particularly true for college savings plans because there is no mention of any kind of education savings plans in bilateral tax treaties between the United States and other countries. This means that investment gains or distributions from the plan could be subject to local country tax laws and receive no preferential treatment. In the end, this could be no deferral on income and a tax on withdrawals. In addition, because there's no mention of education saving plans and bilateral tax treaties, local country college savings plans are generally a bad idea for U.S. taxpayers. For example, it might not be the best option to use the Child Trust Fund in the UK or a registered education savings plan in Canada. There's a great potential for double taxation that could lead to some headaches down the road that it's better to avoid initially. And at TUN Financial, we really believe that a 5-to-9 plan is one of the tools to build a balanced, holistic portfolio. And in the context of a larger investment portfolio, it may make sense to place the more aggressive portion into a 5 to 9 plan. And I'll get more to that later. We have some slides that will show this. But the main advantage of a 5 to 9 plan is that you're able to maximize tax deferral over a long period of time and have the maximum benefit for tax-free withdrawals among other types of IRAs, retirement accounts, taxable brokerage accounts. And one kind of unique aspect is this makes them a great tool for intergenerational wealth planning. We often get the question, is it a bad idea to overfund my 5 to 9 plan? And we really advise that it's not the biggest thing to be worried about. I can give a brief example here. Let's say you have 2 children, and you have 2 5 to 9 plans. So when child 1 finishes school, you'd be able to change the beneficiary of child 1's 5 to 9 plan to child 2's 5 to 9 plan and kind of roll the funds over into child 2's college expenses. And even let's say child 2 graduates college and there's still some money left over in their 529 account. It's possible that you could have this money sit there and later change the beneficiary 20, 30 years down the road to a future grandchild or a niece or nephew. And you could really benefit from the tax-free potential of the 5 to 9 plan and have the earnings, increase, grow tax-free and reinvest the earnings tax-free for a period of 30, 40 years after you initially contribute the funds. And this is a really powerful tool to build wealth over the long term. And now getting into a little bit more specifically, we have how we fit 5 to 9 plans into an overall investment strategy. This is a typical portfolio of an actual client. They're a husband and wife living in the UK. And as you can see, they have the typical accounts we normally see. They have an IRA, a Roth IRA, a UK retirement account, a taxable brokerage account. And at Tune Financial, we really focus on allocating investments efficiently over these different accounts with different tax characteristics. So first, like I said, we'd like to place the most aggressives into Roth and 5 to 9 college savings plans. These might be emerging market funds, small cap stocks, mid cap stocks. These are assets with great potential for future growth. And we want these in the tax-free accounts because we're able to take the most advantage of the tax-free characteristics and have the most earnings be free of tax in the future when they're finally withdrawn. Then next, we would like to place low growth, high income assets into tax deferred accounts, for example, an IRA, or in this situation, a UK retirement account. Assets such as bonds and REITs generate current income, dividends, and interest, and by putting them into an IRA, we're able to shield these from being taxed, and they can be invested tax-free and later withdrawn at a taxpayer's ordinary tax rate. So these are a great way to kind of defer paying taxes until retirement when your tax rate could be lower. And lastly, we also will put investments then we'll fill it up with the taxable accounts, and we're able to take advantage, as I mentioned, of long-term capital gains rates and such to really defer paying tax for the longest time possible and end up generating more wealth accumulation. And this is why we really think that effective utilization of a 5 to 9 college savings plans requires a holistic approach to financial planning. Oops, sorry, here we got This is where we really feel that effective utilization of 5 to 9 savings plans requires a holistic approach to financial management and wealth management. We always integrate 5 to 9 plans into an investor's broader portfolio, and this would include retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, pension plans to really take advantage of their unique tax advantages and maximize wealth over the long term. And this is why we really conclude that you have to look at everything in the big picture and invest accordingly. And now as I wrap up, I'd like to move on to some questions that anyone might have today. I could unmute everyone here.
Hear us?
Yes. We could type questions or we could speak. It's really up to anyone who's asking.
I'm curious to know how you get in-state tuition in the U.S. for kids if you're living overseas.
Yes, I think every state is different with regards to in-state tuition, but I know that they look kind of at a variety of factors, maybe where you were previously in the U.S., where the children went to high school or grade school in the U.S. I think it's kind of really a state-specific item to look into. Maybe it's best to call up the financial aid office at a particular state university. They probably have a good answer.
Okay.
Anything else?
These five, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The 529 plans, are they something that you invest yourself, or is it always through in financial?
I'm sorry, I think you broke up a little bit. Could you re-ask the question? I think it was something. We got a lot of feedback here. I mean, here. Oh, why don't I mute all, and I will. Let's see. Here we go. You should be able to ask the question better now, please.
Okay, I just say, can individuals invest in 529s themselves, or is it always done through a financial institution like yourself?
Each state actually will manage their own 529 plan, so you'll be able to go to a state website, and I think every state has one. You'll be able to sign up through the state interface. So you don't you could do it. There's a variety of different ways to do it.
Okay, and you guys are based where now?
We're based in Madison, Wisconsin. We were located in Madison, Wisconsin. We've been around since 2008, and we work almost exclusively with Americans abroad. I think we're about 95% of our clients live outside the United States.
So your clients then, you would not meet face-to-face, meeting face-to-face with them.
Pardon me?
I said you would just do all your consulting and all your client meetings without having to meet face-to-face.
Yes, we use Skype a lot. We use this web conferencing tools to meet and do portfolio reviews, and it's really great to see what technology. FaceTime. We use a lot of tools to communicate with our clients all over the world. And David will say he's never met some of his clients in person, but he feels like they're really good friends just from all the the technology, the video chatting, and the conversations. So it's kind of a great way to work, I think.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, can you give us a sense of the fee structure?
So we work under assets under management. I think the best way our fees range from generally about 1.5% to 0.3%. And I think it's really best to schedule maybe a private conversation, and we could discuss more what we can do for you. But we only work under asset under management. We don't do kind of an hourly fee or a fixed fee for any of our clients.
And you have knowledge, for example, on, we live in Germany, for example.
Yes.
You have somebody who would know the tax rules in Germany and things like that to help us, because I think that's the most challenging thing, is just to know all these loopholes that we have to watch out for between what we do in the U.S. and the German.
Yes, so we do work. We work with a lot of clients in Germany, and we're really familiar with German tax rates and how they, some of the deductions you can take. And that being said, we're not tax preparers, but we work a lot with tax preparers. We have several that work very well with German clients, and we do understand all the kind of rules. So how is your pension going to be taxed, or how is rental income going to be taxed in Germany, or how does the interplay with when you're in a lower income bracket interplay with the U.S. tax rates? So we really do have a very good grasp of all these rules that affect clients in different countries, even though we don't prepare taxes per se.
Okay. Anyone else have a question? I feel like I am monopolizing your time.
And what we'll do after this is we'll send out a copy of this webinar, and we're definitely always available to speak individually. and discuss particular situations and such. And we're very open to hosting. We have an investment presentation, which we typically do about every other month. We will send out invites for that again, probably shortly in the next couple of weeks. We'll do that again, and we're always available to do that privately, one-on-one too.
That might be interesting because, yeah, I mean, I represent an organization that has about 12,000 American overseas,
Okay.
so that's why I'm on here today.
Okay.
It's always very interesting to,
Yes.
To provide these kinds of advice to our membership.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah,
anyway,
we
okay, but we are in contact with David, so
Okay, that's good.
yeah, he knows our organization.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you everyone for attending. Are there any other questions, or feel free to reach out via email if anything more specific, and be happy to get back to you right away and see what we can do.
It would be good to get, you said you will send us, will we get a copy of this PowerPoint?
Yes, I will send out a link pretty soon after. I'll send out all the presentation materials for everyone to review and pass on to their friends and look over at their own time.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.